Hey, Taurus, Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here, excited to bring in your November 2025 bonus reading. All right, now this session is all about uncovering your sacred shifts and divine gifts. We'll look at messages that your spiritual teachers and helpers would like to share with you and the energy that's asking to be transformed. Think of this as your soul's roadmap where guidance can come in and help you step into greater alignment. So, what spiritual helpers are showing up for you at this time? You have Kali Ma. Now, Kali is intense, and she also connects with that Scorpio energy as well, death and rebirth. So you may be facing some major spiritual changes at this time, and fear can step in. And if you are feeling the fear, call in Kali because she is going to cut through that fear. This is your chance to soar. This is your chance to really move forward here into infinite abundance. And I see for many of you, obstacles are being removed. You have Lord Ganesh as well. And Lord Ganesh is the remover of obstacles. Spiritual support and connections are increasing for you. You're starting to see momentum build. You're pushing through any fears of external validation, criticism, judgment, self-doubt, abandonment, rejection. And some of you may have even felt like you have been left out in the cold. Like you felt like, I don't have any resources. I don't have community. I don't have tribe. I don't have support or help. And if that is a story that you have been weaving into your reality, I feel like that story is being lifted in order for new opportunities to enter. Yeah, because you have something quite powerful showing up here. You have some really beautiful major arcanas, including the High Priestess, and you also have the Witch, which is a bonus major arcana in this deck, which is all about magic and transformation. Now, Kali coming through, you see that she wears the skulls around her throat chakra, also connected to the heart. And you are undergoing a powerful time in your life where your thoughts are quite powerful. So if you have been wanting to close a chapter of your life or push through some of your deepest, darkest fears, this is the time to really evaluate and take a look at where you are currently at, Taurus. If you are feeling dissatisfied or restless in any area, call in Kali to help you push through those limitations so you can fully step into the version of yourself that you are wanting to become. She is intense. Now we have here Horus bringing in the cosmic gateway. This is like a big old door opening up here in your world. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. There are miraculous changes here. I see that. Now, of course, we'll tap into the blocks that may be showing up, but we're also going to look at the shifts and the gifts for you today. And because Horus is here, this tells me that there is a new portal. There is a new timeline that you are shifting into. So it is important to stay aware. It is important now more than ever to trust your intuitive voice. Trust that voice within as you fully embody this next leg of your journey. And lastly, you have Lord Ganesh, one of my personal favorites. I love working with Ganesh energy. This is all about infinite abundance as obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. And that's what I'm picking up on here for you, where you may have felt like you didn't have the support or you didn't have the resources, or it just feels like you've been walking a solo path. For some of you, this is going it alone. Even if you're in a partnership or a connection, there may still be pieces of you that feel like you're in this all by yourself. And this is the gateway here of connectivity, right? Connection, teamwork, and bridging the gap here where it feels like there is a reunified energy between you and perhaps family or a new connection with community. This could be a tribe of like-minded individuals where you come together here and it feels like you have this new sense of belonging. So let's dive in here and take a look at the voice. What does your higher self want you to know at this time? Now you have here the Knight of Swords. Your higher self is saying you're ready for any challenge that comes your way. You're ready to embrace some of the fears with Kali showing up here, but you are doing so with discernment. You're doing so with truth and integrity. The Knight of Swords is also very confident in their communication. So your higher self is reminding you here to speak up and say what's on your mind, be honest, embrace authenticity, and to also don't be afraid to research. Don't be afraid to dig in to help you find that support or the answers that you have been seeking here. This is about charging ahead with intellect and voicing your ideas, putting your thoughts out there, and also not being afraid of persecution. I am getting here the throat chakra is activating, where some of you may have felt silenced. You may have felt like your voice wasn't being heard or your ideas weren't being expressed in the outward world, maybe in the way that you wanted them to. So your higher self is saying, we can move forward with this. You have an idea, let's bring it to life. If you are scared that, maybe you don't know enough, or maybe there's a bit of imposter syndrome, it's okay, because we are going to learn as we go. You have what it takes to shine. You have what it takes to fully step into this magical energy that is coming through here this month. Now, what is the block? What's getting in the way of hearing this message here? Because also the Knight here can be intuitive downloads. Even though he can be very logical, I also see that this Knight receives a lot of information, but doesn't always know how to process this information. I'm also getting type A personality, perhaps ADHD, or just feels like someone has a lot going on within their mind, and it can block at times or suppress some of that intuitive knowing, where you may be looking for fact and looking for logic when sometimes intuition comes in without that piece, and you have to kind of discern, what is in your highest good. So when the High Priestess shows up as a bit of a block, again, you're being guided to trust in that inner voice. And some of you have gone through a period of your life where there were secrets, or there was maybe even someone holding back or detaching from, could be a relationship. This could be you detaching from your career. Perhaps you have felt at times like you've disconnected from your own body. And this is about you reconnecting to that sacred self within, coming back to a space of wholeness, coming back to a space of, intuitive guidance within, and maybe even embracing some practices or some rituals that help you reconnect. I feel like there may have been some old stories based on maybe what other people had told you was true, or what other people had kind of pushed upon you, and you may have started to believe it at times instead of believing in your own, inner voice. And that's what's shifting here for you, because the mirror that is being reflected in your current life or situation is the witch. The witch is represented here by Dorothy Gale, right? She doesn't realize that she is magical, that she has been carrying the power within her all along, because she sometimes seeks validation from others, or she doubts her beautiful gifts. She doubts herself. It is crucial, and I'm going to say this one more time, it is crucial, Taurus, to believe in your abilities and to stay true to self, because this is a highly transformative energy here, where not only are you very, very gifted, but you may be guided to use your words as spells. That's why they call it spelling, because it's magic. So be mindful of how you speak to yourself. That can also be that Knight of Swords. Be mindful of how you allow other people to speak to you. Call in that white light of protection. Work with Archangel Michael. You are protected here. And I feel like it is important to put up that shield of energetic boundaries, and for you to focus on nurturing and paying homage to that inner light, so you can make room for it to shine into the outer world, because you are a powerful force. Now, for some of you, you may even be dealing with someone in your life who feels like maybe the Wicked Witch of the East, right? It's not Glinda the Good Witch, but maybe you're dealing with someone who is misusing their power in some way to manipulate, or they may not be fully embodying from a place of heart, and you are feeling that within them. Maybe this is a friend, it could be a family member, it could be someone at work. It feels like you are asked to use not only your discernment, but that intuitive wisdom to know when to stay connected to an energy and when to kind of detach from it. And that's why that High Priestess is here as well. So what is the shift? What needs to be released or embodied for clarity and growth? Now, this can be shadow work. It can be healing. It could be, an energetic shift. You have the Four of Pentacles. This means that you may be hanging on very tightly to something that someone said, to something that they did, some sort of pain. But that's where Kali comes in here and says what you're hanging on to is no longer serving you, because the Four of Pentacles is showing up here as the Wicked Witch, which is interesting because I was just talking about the Wicked Witch of the East, right? Her possessions. So maybe it feels like this witch in your life, if it's not someone external, it could be a part of the story, the narrative that has been playing out in your own mind, right? The voices that are not connected to your intuitive wisdom. But it could be that you've been hanging on to something that you've outgrown, hanging on to a story that's no longer relevant in your life. And this is saying it's time to detach. It's time to release, because you are meant to move on. You are meant to walk away from a person, place, thing, environment, belief, or attachment that is suffocating your growth. That's the easiest way I can put it, suffocating one's growth. And that's the shift. The shift is to release these attachments, these possessions, these earthly things that no longer serve you. And the Four of Pentacles is also connected to resources and finances. And you may have even gone into debt. For some of you, this is a poverty conscious mindset or a scarcity mindset of, am I going to lose everything? Am I going to have enough? Right? It feels like there has been a subconscious energy, or maybe you are consciously aware that there is a deep fear of losing everything that you've worked so hard to build. And so it could be the fear in itself that is needing to be released, because you have infinite abundance here. You have spiritual support and connections that are increasing. So even if you have gone through some sort of loss, some sort of debt, financial or health-wise, because the Pentacle realm can be connected to our material world, as well as our possessions, our health, our body. And I see that you are stepping into the Queen of Swords. This is the gift, Taurus. What's waiting on the other side of this? This is the potential. This is the blessings. This is the energetic alignment where the Queen of Swords is intellectual, right? She takes those ideas, she moves forward, she brings them to life. She is able to cut through any fluff, any illusions, any fear. She takes that sword. She is powerful. She is an excellent communicator. She's a creative thinker. She is honest, and she says what she means what she says, and her head and her heart are in alignment, and she's moving forward. And that's the space where you want to be in. Now look at all of this beautiful red that she is embodying. Now some of you could have fiery, flaming red hair. I'm also getting here a compass. Some of you may have a tattoo of a compass, or this could even be symbolic for trusting in your inner compass. I'm also seeing the infinity symbol here. Perhaps you have that tattoo, or it could be signs that show up for you throughout the month of November, the compass and the infinity symbol. But the Queen of Swords is showing up as the gift where you have this new sense of boundary that you are upholding, and you are taking your ideas, you're bringing them to life. And the red color here is connected to your root chakra, which is your safety, your stability, your security. And you are moving forward here. You're making wise choices. You know, the Red Queen is in Chess Valley here. And so it feels like it's time to make your move, right? That's the gift, is finally, after a period of planning, after a period of strategizing, because think of playing the game chess. You know, it's not like checkers where you can just make a quick move. Chess takes time. Chess takes planning, strategizing, because there are many players on the board, and you have to take a look at all moves. And that's what you're doing here. That's the gift. But now you get to integrate. The integration here, the outcome is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is Dorothy. You know, when she is wishing upon a star, this is about adding a splash of color to your life. After a period of things feeling very black and white, very all or nothing, some of you very bland, this is your time to spice things up. The Eight of Cups is my eat, pray, love energy as well, where it may feel like there was something missing and you are on the quest for something deeper, more meaningful. This is a new path ahead for you. And because this witch is showing up here, Dorothy, right? This is her transformation. This is about you using your wisdom, using your intellect to believe in magic here, and to open yourself up to that powerful energy that is available within you and all around you. Because the Eight of Cups tells me that you are going on a journey, right? Dorothy she's out there traveling, and it's where she's singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow in The Wizard of Oz. And, you know, the change comes in, that tornado comes in and shifts everything. So for some of you, that's why Kali is here, because your life is leveling up in some way, but it may require you to say goodbye to an old version of yourself, or an old identity, or perhaps an old job or old relationship, as you fully step into this next chapter. So hang in, you're in for a wild ride, buckle up. But I feel like this is quite beautiful. The Eight of Cups is saying you will not be abandoned, right? Even if it feels like you are separating from this energy, it feels like you're actually stepping into your integrity, because you have learned something along the way, that you do not want to ever compromise who you are at a core level to please or to make anyone, anyone happy, or for that validation, because you are starting to say, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because this is what my intuitive voice is saying, you know, I should do. This is the direction that is going to allow me to expand instead of restrict. That's a powerful outcome. and your message from your higher self. Time to take action. What steps can you take today to feel closer to your goal or dream? Today, cross one item off your to-do list. Build momentum by taking baby steps, crossing one thing off at a time. And if you are like me, you probably create lists. I love lists. They're my best friends. And I am constantly writing things down in list format. So some of you, regarding relationships, regarding career, finances, budgeting, even your health, it may benefit for you to write things down, because the Knight of Swords here, not only is he an action taker, and that's a message coming in from your higher self as well, write things down. Some of you may be guided to write a book, to put out your classes, courses, workshops, or to learn more as you step into this next chapter, to integrate your learnings, to not only learn something, but put it into practice. How many of you have taken a class or taken a course online or, in person, and you thought to yourself, this is valuable information. This is valuable wisdom. I cannot wait to go back and use this in my life. But then life happens and we forget what we've learned, or we don't take that lesson or that education and apply it constructively to our lives. Spirit is saying you have the tools, you have the knowledge. It's time for you to take what you've learned and move into the next chapter of your life with it. The integration process is occurring here for you. It says here, action. I will commit to doing blank today. I want you to think about that. And if you're brave, drop it in the comment section. What are you going to commit to doing? It doesn't have to be ginormous, right? Baby steps. Maybe you are going to commit to slowing down. Maybe you are going to commit to connecting with your body for 15, 20 minutes by going for a walk or just sitting in silence. Maybe you are going to commit to eating a healthier dinner. Maybe adding a food group that you haven't ate for a while that's healthier to your dinner or your breakfast. Perhaps you are committing to speaking up, telling someone how you feel. Whatever this is, it is going to create that sense of not only courage, but confidence. It is going to help you feel more confident within yourself. Because when you show up consistently, you build confidence. I didn't even read that last part. And so Spirit is aligning confidence with your energy at this time. So it says, when I show up consistently, I build confidence within myself. So continuing to say yes to infinite abundance, but day in and day out, which means, taking those actionable steps to get closer and closer to a dream instead of letting fear hold you back, not taking action. That is what I have for you, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here today, for spending time with me on this channel. If you enjoyed the message, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.